Well, we've always had a really strong sense of community at Queen Margaret University, and recognising that it was our 150th anniversary, we wanted to do something that really commemorated that. And so we thought a public artwork was ideal, something that reflected our creativity, but also something that we could share with the community. But we were very mindful of the financial situation, and so we set about raising funding for that through donations, and thanks to our fantastically generous donors, we were able to pull together the funding to procure a really amazing piece of public art. So we ran an open competition and invited a range of artists to submit proposals, and it was a fantastically exciting process with lots of amazing creativity. But out of that, Martha Ellis, a local artist, emerged with her really fascinating ideas around using cutouts of people. And what we loved about that was it had a high impact, but critically it allowed us to capture the community of QMU, the staff, the students, the local residents, and bring it all together into a fantastic piece of artwork.
When you think of a university, you'll often think of a student studying, maybe someone graduating and teachers teaching, but it takes so much more than that for a university to be successful. So it was really important for me to go up and spend time, and the more time I spent there, the more I got to see all these kind of almost hidden figures. If you just pop in for 5 minutes, you might not realise how important all these people, there's a whole web of people that make it run. And if they weren't doing their job, the whole thing would potentially crumble. And it's like trying to capture the kind of the full breadth of the university. It's not just someone sitting down reading a book or sitting down and writing or sitting in a lecture hall. It's how do I capture as much of that university experience as possible.
So as part of Martha's commission, she went out to all our local communities, staff, students, the people who live nearby, and she's run all sorts of workshops, drawing classes, taken photographs, met lots of people, and so she's been able to bring all that knowledge about the people who are part of Queen Margaret University's past, our present, and people who are going to be part of our future. And Martha's been able to bring that all together into this wonderful piece of art.
I think I've got roughly about 300 drawings. That's the thing that really shows the full richness of QMU. The sculpture itself is like the cherry on top, where I've just edited just a few of those people and created the design for the final piece. My whole thing with the sculpture is I didn't want it to be like this alien object that just suddenly landed on the QMU campus. Public art can sometimes feel like it's not part of the community, that it's kind of not inflicted, but placed within the community. And I wanted it to feel like people at least knew about it and were kind of aware of what was going on. And if they feel part of the journey, then they're going to be excited to see it and hopefully hold it in higher regards because they've been part of it. I took part in a range of different things, from informal conversations to presentations to drop-in sessions. Being local myself, I knew that it is a space that is used a lot by the local community. It's not just for students and it's not just for staff. Unlike a painting where you've got different colours and different brushstrokes, I've only got two options. It either stays or it goes, and that's called a positive negative. So my challenge is, how do you make something recognisable when I've only got those two options? I just really enjoy this process of working where you start with a pencil drawing and a pen drawing, and then it goes on the computer and you start with a sheet of material, and then those two combine results in this it can be really delicate and really intricate, or really bold and punchy outcome that it's definitely become my signature style. I do less and less painting and drawing that I may have done in previous years. Once I've created the drawing and I'm happy with it, I then need to create the composition for the sculpture itself. And this is where, rather than it being a single person, I'm layering up and creating a whole collection of people over 3 panels. And I really like this bit because they start to create little relationships and conversations, because they weren't physically there together when I took the photo, but I'm creating this environment where I'm placing them together. And it seems really fitting for QMU, which really is, community is incredibly important for them, that I'm creating these little environments where we've got these little kind of bundles and huddles of people all interacting. So today we are installing the sculpture. I've tried not to be nervous because this is the final bit of the whole process. But yeah, just making sure that they arrive safe and sound and that they go in smoothly.
I think this is a fantastic piece of work to mark our 150th anniversary. It's something that's going to stand the test of time. It's going to be there for future. It's also, you know, a look back as well as a look forward. And I think it just sits so nice in the landscape that we've chosen.
Being my first sculpture of this scale, it's been really challenging because I didn't always understand what needed to be done in terms of the logistics and things. So it's been really brilliant with Bruce being able to kind of take control and explain things and liaise with the different, like the fabricator and the transport and the logistics. So it's been really good and a massive learning curve for myself, hopefully for future projects as well.
I think the whole thing is that it's not just something in itself. It's something that you can look through and something that you can kind of see how it sits in its surroundings. But it's also about the fact is it's great to be able to discover who's actually in there that you might know as well. So it's a fantastic piece to be able to kind of step back and admire.
I think that QMU is a really important fixture in East Lothian, Musselburgh, in Edinburgh. It isn't just a place of education, it's more than that. It does genuinely reach into the local community. It does impact the local community.
Queen Margaret University has a set of values. It likes to think that it's different from other higher educational institutes in Scotland. How do you reflect that in our work, and how do you make something that will resonate with students? But the thing that really we thought the students would get and would work with and would be sort of timeless were these ideas that Martha put up.
The group wanted something unique and different, but is also going to stand the test of time. And I think because it's got that story behind it and the individual people that are in it, it'll stand the test of time.
I think it's incredible to see the work unveiled because although we've seen the small maquettes and we've seen the work in progress, seeing it now fully made and at life size actually gives the art a whole new dimension, because if you stand back from it, you see them as figures, but when you step close to it, it's also quite abstract.
I think first and foremost, it provides a wonderful focal point for not just the staff and students, but anyone visiting Queen Margaret campus. It's a marvellous, impactful piece of art. It tells a story. It tells us about where Queen Margaret University came from, where we're going. It reflects our values. In many ways, it is Queen Margaret University, and I'm certainly looking forward to visiting it every day that I'm on campus.